This week on Hip Hop Now podcast, 2 Chainz wants Q-Tip to curate a trap version of Midnight Marauders. My review of Tyler the Creator's new album, Flower Boy. And Joey Badass says that he inspired Jay-Z's 444. Okay.
But let's get right to the business.
Read these headlines. This album must be gone. This album must be gone.
Classic albums are. Classic albums are.
Come to Hip Hop Podcast.
What up, y'all? I am your host, Vegas, and you are listening to Hip Hop Now Podcast, a podcast designed to catch you up on all things hip-hop music and culture that happened throughout the week. And you are listening right here on SoundCloud.com/Hip Hop Now Podcast, as well as Death Star Radio, in which you can download the free app for free. Did I mention free? On iOS or Android, whatever you want to do, or you can visit dsr.fm. It's not only programs like this, but it's also uncensored, unfiltered hip-hop music. First of all, I want to say a big shout out to Hip Hop DX, from which I'm getting some of these stories from. Also, you can follow me on social media at Vegas World INC. Vegas World INC, that's on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, even though I took the app off my phone, but occasionally I bring it back because I like some things about it. I don't know. I don't do the dog face and all that crap. That's for kids and girls. But sometimes, I might post stuff, do a little promotion, whatever it may be. But let's get right into the business, man. Let's talk about some stuff. We got a couple of things to talk about. Dr. Dre reportedly is working on Eminem's new album. We all know that there's been a new album in the works for such a long time, honestly. And now the rumor is that this next Eminem project, which is his 9th album, is a follow-up to 2013's The Marshall Mathers LP2. Now, that's not a revelation, right? I know I phrased it like it was. My thing is, I forgot that was the title of that album, to be honest. Why? Because it didn't really hit the mark for me. There was definitely some dope records, but the Marshall Mathers LP is probably my favorite Eminem album. I know there's a lot of crazy stuff on there. I don't mind it. I mean, hey, it's entertainment. I'm not looking to be informed, to be honest. But I'm not, I don't know, I'm not surprised by hearing that Dr. Dre is working on Eminem's album. I think it's about time. I mean, it's the same thing with Snoop. Anytime Snoop and Dr. Dre get back together, it's magic, man. You kind of wonder why they are even not making music all the time anyway. But Snoop puts out like albums all the time, so I could see why. That's not how Dr. Dre rolls, You got 10 years between your albums if you Dr. Dre, if that. I'm still looking for Detox. MC Shan disses Jay-Z by saying story of OJ advice. Well, he says this, because this is the only reason why I'm reading this. He says that Jay-Z bit his flow. I don't even want to go on and reading this about MC Shan. Let's just see. Let's see if we can get some quotes. And I quote, "I don't see this game as being a young man's sport." That's the first thing he said. "I see this game that if there's not people like me and Cool G Rap doing what we do, there's a whole generation that don't have ish to listen to. What the F? Are we going to be forced to have to listen to this other stuff that is out here? I don't think so. There's another slot for us out here. Don't be greedy and take it all. I'm not agreeing with. I haven't heard Jay's album." See, there we go. Always. And I added that. "And I'm not running out to get Jay's album. From what I hear, he has been saying the same ish that people have been saying for years." I mean, I slightly agree with Shan in regards to the fact that Jay-Z's album, a lot of the things he say about, about your credit, a lot of the knowledge he drops about, financial security, things of that nature. No, he is not the first to say this. I mean, there are people who drop albums this year who have already covered some of those topics, but you got to understand there are some people who only listen to Jay-Z and Beyonce, or there's some people who only listen to, bigger artists, and or whatever the hype train dictates. And if they've never heard that from that artist, they're gonna take it like it's the greatest thing in the world. You really can't tell people that, you know, you have to listen to it all because maybe they're not fans of it all. But if we talking hip hop and we talking the community, nobody who's a hip hop fan, true blue hip hop fan, whether it's boom bap or something else, believes that Jay-Z is saying something that no one in hip hop has ever said, because that is 100% false. But Jay-Z biting off of Shan, or even anybody caring about new music from MC Shan, is also completely false. Nobody cares about MC Shan besides the bridge. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Shan was the man back in the days. We're not taking anything away from him. But you got smoked by KRS-One back in the days. That was basically the end of you. You were a fiend for a little while. You know what I'm saying? I think you're clean now, which is good. You look like you're 75 when you're not really that old. Stop it, Shan. Stop it, because some of these dudes on the internet don't have the same level of respect for you and what you brought to the game that people like me do. And even though I threw a couple shots at a legend, I'm saying, let's be serious. It's not true. What he's saying about Jay-Z, it's not true in the sense, and he's really not the one to say it, because when it comes to hip hop and combat of hip hop MCs in the conversation, you've been retired a very long time. You don't have the catalog to back it up. You don't have the bars to back it up. Chill. Russell Simmons is making a movie about Eric B. and Rakim's Apollo reunion. If you don't know, recently Eric B. and Rakim celebrated the 30th anniversary of their debut album, classic album, Paid in Full, genre-changing album, hip-hop changing album, Paid in Full. I hope I gave you enough right there to let you know how serious that is. They had this show at the Apollo to commemorate that. It was like 400 people on the stage, which was kind of whack, because it really should have just been them, so we could really absorb them and not look at everybody else that was in the background. But it is what it is. And Russell Simmons, along with Sessions X and Tulsa Media, who basically captured the footage, are going to put together this documentary that was shot in 4K and also will feature some virtual reality stuff. At the show, it featured a number of people who came through, including DJ Kool Herc, salute, Ice-T, Mace. I didn't know Mace was there. Okay. Flavor Flav, Fat Joe, EPMD, Slick Rick, and more. I also saw Freddie Fox in the building. I'm looking forward to this. I wasn't able to attend. I really thought about it, like I was really going to do that, but then I kind of fell back and, didn't go, and was kind of mad a little bit at the fact that I didn't go, and now it's like 4K, I'll take it. Edited, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, when you at a show like that, hip-hop show, where it just gets loud and everybody gets extra macho, and you kind of lose some of the majestic side of what this is. And when I mean the majestic side, I'm just talking about, this Eric B. and Rakim, man, they still here. They still here. Rakim changed the way rappers rap. You rap today the way you rap because Rakim changed it. He made bars matter. So I'm saying I would prefer to see something that's well produced rather than 300 people on the stage and a lot of commotion and maybe a couple of breaks. Nah, I'd rather just sit back, watch it 4K, aerial footage, VR, whatever. I don't want to see VR, but 4K, I'll take it, whatever it may be. Some of you already know, but the mural that was put up in Queensbridge for the late Prodigy of Mobb Deep was defaced with white paint. The artist redid it, and then the next day it was defaced again with red paint. So now the mural is basically being removed permanently. So, and a lot of people was looking for situations. So I heard some people saying, simple things about like New York in general, which is misinformed because honestly, if you know people, if you know the ghetto, you know what I'm saying, the hood, not everybody like you, man. Not everybody's like this Mobb Deep fan. You don't know what beefs Prodigy had currently or in the past, whatever it may be. And you would think, just like I would think, you would think him not being here, not being alive was enough for that stuff to die. But for some people, whether it's a beef or whether it's, some kids who think it's funny, you never know what happened. You never know what's the reasons. They never got anything. I don't know why it wasn't no camera or anything up. Just catch the people, because honestly, the first time it got defaced and it replaced it right away, I already knew it was going to happen again unless something was put in place, and that would have to be at least a camera to figure out who it is. And it's a sad situation, but at the end of the day, we still honor Prodigy, and there's still ways to honor this man. It's a mural is a mural. You know what I'm saying? There's murals of plenty of people in the hood, and if he can't have one, then so be it. Whatever. But at the same time, believe this: for those who are uninformed about how you handle this, somebody knows who did it, and there's a thing called street justice, and it might not be in Hip Hop DX, but somebody knows. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not advocating anything, but I'm saying if you know the hood, you already know these things happen, and people talk. People talk and people get seen, man. That's what it is, man. But rest in peace to Prodigy. It is what it is. Joey Badass had to clarify some comments he made about saying that Jay-Z's brand new album, 444, I did a review for it on theshadowleague.com. Just look it up and you'll find it. Dope album in my estimation. But this is what he originally said. I put certain pressure on OGs in the game, and they know what they need to talk about now, because they got this young N-word, Joey Badass, coming out talking about this ish before they got the chance to talk about it. Let's see, where did he clarify? Okay. On Twitter, of course. Y'all N-words acting like I said I single-handedly inspired the album. No. But I was definitely one of the inspirations. And listen to his new album, American Badass, which is dope, which I've said on this podcast. He also said, my real N-words, no. You kids are way too sleep, and you old ninjas are way too disconnected. But hey, peace and love. Come on, man. Joey Badass, I like your music. Don't be the stereotypical millennial. When I say this, I'm not talking to all millennials, because not all millennials act that way. But this right here is you're being a millennial. That's a millennial statement, right? You did say that you are the inspiration, and what you did are the inspiration. So when you say, well, I wasn't saying that I single-handedly, no, but you did say that. You imply that when you just said you, like I am. Because when I say I'm not talking about a group. I'm talking about me. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel when I hear that. No, you did not inspire Jay-Z to apologize to his wife about cheating. to get at Kanye for some stuff, to start talking about financial security and, you know what I'm saying, and things as it relates to blacks. Because honestly, we could say, listening to your catalog, listen to your album before American Badass, and then listen to American Badass after we already had To Pimp a Butterfly. You weren't really talking like that either. You really weren't. I'm glad you did, because I felt like this album was better received. But you're not doing yourself no favors, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let the fact that others are coming out and the press is bigger and the reaction is bigger, and you definitely put out a dope album. I am an advocate for you. I just did a podcast that y'all could check out on soundcloud.com/hiphopnowpodcast called The Best of 2017 So Far. And Joey Badass is right in that category because his album is just that good to me for all of the reasons he's mentioned. He can't pay it. He's paying way too much attention to where we're paying attention to. You know what I'm saying? He wants more accolades, but honestly, when you put an album out like that, and in a year, look at this year that we're gonna have, man. Look at these heavy hitters from old to new. Kendrick dropped the album. Jay-Z dropped the album. Nas supposedly has an album coming. Raekwon dropped an album. Kool G Rap came back. MC8 and DJ Premier put an album out. There's newer cats that's out. I just listened to this Tyler, the Creator album, which I'm going to review towards the end. That's something to be reckoned with. You know what I'm saying? And there's a whole bunch I didn't name, from Run the Jewels to, you know what I'm saying, Godbox. It's too much music that's already come out. Nick Grant, it's too much that's already come out for you to feel like you need to have the space to yourself. You had your window of time, you know what I'm saying, put out some memorable videos doing some really unique stuff. Put yourself back in the picture, man. You can't, come on, man. Don't put out a positive album and then throw a little shade in different directions, you know. And I'm glad he cleaned it up, but is it me or this is like the second or third time he said something initially and then had to clean it up? Yeah, so just chill, man. Just chill. Quick note, you know what I'm saying? Couple of rappers got Emmy nominations, including Snoop Dogg, Chance the Rapper, LL Cool J, and Common. We all know why Snoop is nominated, because of the Martha Stewart joint. So, hey, hip-hop. Hip-hop wins in all categories. You feel me? We got a couple more stories, but then we're going to add the DMX reportedly facing over 40 years in prison for tax evasion. I'm going to just tell y'all like this. I think he going up, y'all. He going up or he going left, right, something. He going somewhere, right? Because DMX has just been in so much trouble lately for other reasons, not even taxes. But let's just look real quick. A court document says that DMX concealed his income between the years 2002 and 2005 and owes $1.7 million to the IRS. Wow. Does DMX have $35 is the question. No, I'm just joking. I'm pretty sure he does. I mean, DMX had a lot of hits, did a couple of movies. He's done a couple of things. So hopefully, you know, he can get out of this. But geez, like, let's see. There's something else here. The acting U.S. Attorney June H. Kim said for years Earl Simmons, a.k.a. DMX, the recording artist and performer known as DMX, okay, my bad, made millions from his chart-topping songs, concert performances, and television shows. But while raking in millions from his songs, including the 2003 hit X Is Gonna Give It To You, which I didn't really like, DMX didn't give any of it to the IRS. Far from it. DMX allegedly went out of his way to evade taxes, including by avoiding personal bank accounts setting up accounts in other names, and paying personal expenses largely in cash. Wow. And DMX is a part of this Rough Riders tour, that reunion tour that's happening. I don't like to judge, but I'm gonna tell y'all like this: I believe it. I'm sorry. You know why I believe it? Because you know how many like traffic violations DMX has got into, right? Y'all know how many times he's kind of been to prison and all that. I remember watching I don't know what show it was. He was literally driving. It wasn't. It was like a reality show or like an interview. This was a couple years ago. He was driving. He admitted to not having a license while he's driving in this show, and he was driving mad fast and reckless. And I think somebody's mentioned something like, "Yo, you better chill." The cops. He was like, "Yo, I don't care. I don't give a." I could see DMX looking at a bill like, "I ain't paying that." And then when they start coming for him, hopefully it doesn't go down that way, man, because DMX goes to jail, especially for 40 years. I mean, if you thought it was over before, it is truly over. But like with hip hop, it'll probably be his best damn album ever that will drop right before it. So, what are you going to do? And lastly, I want to talk real quick about this new album from Tyler, the Creator, entitled, now what's the title on this album? Because I've seen couple of titles for this album, and at least the version of the album, the early copy I got, said that it was Flower Boy, but it also said something else. I guess it's going by Flower Boy, but it said something else. I'm just telling you, it said something else on it. But the album, now look, as far as Odd Future and Tyler, the Creator, I was feeling their vibe, and I was down with the wave of their music, because I found like it was hip hop, but it was like eclectic at the same time. And I'm not talking about like as far as his lyrics. His lyrics were very clear and to the point. A lot of shock value, some like kind of like a Eminem almost, or at least an early like the Slim Shady side. And I enjoyed it, you know what I'm saying? But I never heard an album from him where I was like, I like the entire album. You know what I'm saying? I always felt like certain songs, you know, were for a whole nother crowd, you know, just not me or whatever. The album is called Scum, Fuck, Flower Boy. But I think it's eventually just going to go by Flower Boy. But yeah, like I listened to his music in the past, and you know, I liked it, and I wasn't like a huge fan that was just waiting for each album to come out, but I always kind of kept my ear to the streets when he would drop something or whatever. And you know, there was a lot of records I liked, but I feel like this particular album, Flower Boy, it's really dope, y'all. It's really dope on a number of levels. On a number of levels, it's a really dope album. And why do I say that? Let me do a couple disclaimers, okay? If you like bar kings, like, you know, I'm here for the lyrics, give me double entendres and similes and all that. It's a couple of those in there. It's a couple. But that's not what this is about for the most part. You know what I'm saying? For those that's like, you know, I need that trap. You know, he got a song with 21 Savage and all of them. He got them trap beats. This ain't for you at all. Not at all. It's not really here. So you can leave. You can leave now. But I will say this, for a person who is a fan of music, not just hip hop, for music, and appreciates the artistry that is production, along with lyrics that suit that production and features that complement that production, lyrics, album, concept, everything, you will like this album. If you're a fan of different genres of music and you love to see those sounds come together to make something that on the surface this will be categorized as a hip hop album, but has so many other elements in there. It's an accomplishment for it to still sound like a hip hop album. Prime example was To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar, or even his newest album, Damn, but maybe To Pimp a Butterfly more than anything. It was just a marriage of a lot of different sounds that came together to still create something that felt like it was rap. You know what I'm saying? And not because of the rapping. A couple of features on here include, of course, Frank Ocean, A$AP Rocky's on here. Lil Wayne is on here on like a skit. He said that he had a dope line on it. It's a song. The song is called Dropping Seeds. It's only like a minute. It's really more like a interlude, but it's a song. It's called Dropping Seeds. Lil Wayne said, "My chick got an apple bottom. She swallowed my seeds." I know some people, who are used to hearing Bar Kings all the time, so they just like, well, they ain't that crazy. That was nice though. It was really nice. You know what I'm saying? Keep it in topic with the concept of the song, but saying something slick, but not being outward with it. You gotta give Wayne a little bit of props for that. That was a nice line. That was one of them lines that, of course, it's not ground shattering, but as an MC, I'm like, I would have came up with that. I wish I would have came up with that. Whatever your bag is, whatever it may be, it was pretty nice. But overall, like, the album is dope, man. Sonically, it sounds so good. Like, when you have a record that comes on, right? And I was in my, because I listen with impressions first, and then the second listen, I listen more so for lyrics and concepts. And then the third listen is just me enjoying it all, if I enjoy it. But when you hear a record on, and that first listen, a record comes on, and it sounds like something that's going to be like an R&B style record, and at the very moment he starts to rap, it morphs into a hip-hop record, but it's so seamless between the R&B feel and the hip-hop feel that you literally feel like the beat just changed. And I'm not talking about, oh, well, they added some drums and it became hip-hop. I'm talking about, I don't even know what they did. I just think they made the perfect beat that could change seamlessly. And when it gets to the hook and the dude starts singing again, it transforms back into this R&B record. And then when it's time for another verse, it goes right back to hip-hop. It's the album as a whole does this a lot. It's, unpredictable in a lot of cases, and I love it because it still maintains the essence of hip-hop that's old school and new school, and in some cases a little bit ahead. And I feel like, if anything, you should at least check it out, especially if you're a fan of Tyler, the Creator. It's called Flower Boy. I believe it's coming out soon, or maybe it's out now. I don't know. But I believe you should check it out because I think people should at least hear it and then form their opinions. But me, one listen and I was already in. It's in my rotation. It is. That's going to do it for me for this week. You can follow me on social media at Vegas World INC. Please know that this podcast is available on everything from iOS to Google Play Music, Stitcher Radio, the TuneIn Radio app, Podbean, and SoundCloud.com/HipHopNowPodcast. This is going to do it for me, Vegas, on DSR.FM, Death Star Radio. Until next time, y'all, I am not a critic. I'm a fan. Peace. Drop it on the random.